tremendous amount of turnover in college football every year, but just because teams will change their rosters, the results don't always vary. If you look at the SEC as a whole went 14-1 so far this season. Georgia was a completely different team than Utah or Oregon. You had Utah losing against Florida. You had Arkansas knocking off Cincinnati. So you start to think about this where you go, the SEC is great, but then you start to think who can keep up with them, who can go up to that level. I don't think Notre Dame can compete with those teams. Ohio State can, but Georgia is just that was a different team than Oregon. It's almost as if you said, wait, are they both in college football? They play at they're both Division I schools. They're both top 15 schools. Oregon's 11. And Oregon does have talent. But even Kirby Smart, Georgia's head coach, after the game said, there's a difference in talent. And he's right. Georgia lost, 15 players to the NFL last year? Didn't look like that. Watching Clemson last night, I still think they got a quarterbacking issue. DJ Uiagalelei threw for a touchdown, ran for another, but it just felt a little less inspiring than I would have thought. And, it's the first game. But I think if you're looking at Clemson, you're looking at what should have a marquee quarterback and highly recruited. When he first started there, he was backing up Trevor Lawrence, and you went, oh, my God, they're in great hands. And then last year, more interceptions than touchdowns. First time since 2007, Clemson blocked 2 punts in the same game, and they set up touchdowns there. But the top 7 teams went 5-2 in week 1, Utah and Notre Dame, the teams suffering losses. And that's the first time 2 top 7 teams lost in week 1 since 2016. Also, when you open up with a big opponent, Utah losing to Florida, unranked Florida, you can still win your conference and then maybe still get a chance to get back in. Notre Dame losing at Ohio State, you might go, okay, that's a quality loss. All right. Well, you got to run the table now, and they still have Clemson, still have USC. USC look fresh. I'm just curious about USC's defense. I expect the offense to be great. If the defense is good, then USC is going to be in contention. And once again, we have to wait until 2016. That's what they voted on, 2016, as they expand the playoffs in college football. But we don't know if they're going to break that contract, and maybe they try to, fast forward it to 2024. And also keep this in mind. And I was wondering about this with college football. If they're going to wait till 2026 to go to 12 teams, what do you do in the interim? What's college football going to do? And this is what I wouldn't rule out. Don't have a source on this. This is just me looking at this speculation. Are they looking at restructuring college football? Do we get it to the point where maybe haves, have-nots? Maybe we get to 50 teams. Maybe 40 teams. Maybe we don't have Utah State playing Alabama to open up the season. Maybe Alabama's playing Utah to open the season as opposed to Utah State. Is that where we're headed in the next 3 years? If they don't break the contract and try to move this up to 2024, then maybe college football will look in the interim at restructuring and maybe getting to the point where this is going to be the haves and the have-nots. Seton O'Connor Jr. III, poll question today is...
Dan, it's that time of year. They're back with a vengeance. One of Paulie's favorites, the dude poll question. Right. So we're sort of workshopping a few dude poll questions. We'll start with college football. Dude, right. Virginia Tech losing 20-17 to Old Dominion.
We did wonder if Old Dominion... that they had a football program, but also were they Division I AA? Yes, Paulie.
Virginia Tech schedules Old Dominion for an easy walkover game. You pay them like $800,000. 10 years ago, Old Dominion did not have football. They can't go from not having football to beating Virginia Tech in 10 years. That's too fast. That's a toughie.
All right. What else do you have, Seed?
Dude, Oregon. Got to show up. Lost 49-3 to Georgia.
Yeah. Georgia, first 7 possessions, touchdowns.
Okay, work in progress.
Yeah.
All right, come on, boys.
But then you take their defensive coordinator, he's your new head coach, and you would think, could he devise something to then try to slow down the offense that he got to see every day in practice? That didn't work out.
This one is the dude heard around the world. LSU 24-23 to Florida State. Eechie owie.
Okay. I wasn't rooting for either team. I just thought, all right, I'm going to settle in. I like this. This will be fun. And then all of a sudden, I see Florida State. They're going to hold on and win it. And all you got to do is don't fumble the foot. And then they fumble the football down at the 2-yard line. And I go, now I'm rooting for LSU. Well, of course, LSU let me down. They go 99 yards, and then they have the extra point block. But that was one of those where you go, Brian Kelly better get off to a good start. Because I go back to when he was there at halftime of the LSU basketball game. And he laid it on a little thick with the accent and family. And then, what did he say? We haven't even lost a game yet?
No, he didn't even say we. He said, I haven't even won all my games yet. Egads.
Yeah.
Actually, I apologize. He said, and I haven't even won all of my games yet.
After the loss, he didn't have an accent. They kicked the accent out of him in the loss.
Yeah, that's a lost dog.
What happened with your accent? They kicked it out of me. I had it to start. Lost it. Yeah, Paulie?
That was the freakiest ending. That the punt returner muffs the second punt. It looks like Florida State, all they got to do is walk in or kick a field goal. The 99, and they gave out the blocked extra point in the same exact position. The same person cut through. Same spot was open. That was the freakiest 10 minutes.
Special teams.
Yeah.
So Alabama beats Utah State. A&M over Sam Houston. Michigan over Colorado State. Oklahoma over UTEP. Baylor beat Albany. It was in doubt for a little while. Final 69-10. USC over Rice. Miami, Florida. Bethune-Cookman. Wisconsin over Illinois State. Kentucky beat Miami of Ohio. And Ole Miss over Troy. So I wonder if in the next couple of years, that time frame, you start to see maybe college football with the powers shrinking a little bit. That would be my guess. Because also, you know, how much money is going to be made? You're going to have new TV deals, and there's a big piece of the pie for a lot of different teams. Here's Jim Harbaugh, the Michigan head coach, on players sharing in the wealth.
I think you know exactly where I stand on that. Well documented that I do believe the players should receive a revenue share, you know, from the massive TV deals that are have been worked out. As I said back in the summer, I think large piece should come from the ones who are negotiating those TV deals. You know, the Big Ten. It's 7 point something billion. It's a lot of billions. It's a lot of money. I think the players should receive a revenue share.
Okay. This is my first reaction. That money's not coming out of Jim Harbaugh's salary. Yeah. And that's a recruiting pitch right there. Hey, players, I'm right there with you. You guys deserve a cut of this. You need to get some of the revenue here. Not out of my contract, but, somebody should be giving that to you. It sounded well done, Coach. Well done. Yes, Marv.
Who put more emphasis on a certain word? Mike Tirico on this year's championship, or when Jim Harbaugh said massive?
Massive, yeah. Well, Tirico said that to Rory McIlroy, that he won this year's FedEx Cup. And then, but Harbaugh, I would say Harbaugh probably put a little more emphasis on there. Because that's a shot at a lot more people there.
It's a lot of billions.
Yes, it is.
That's a lot of billions.
Yes, it is.
I'll tell you. That's a lot of billions.
What else do we have here, Seton, poll question-wise? Or we just settle on that one?
I think we're going to start with that one because we got some other poll questions percolating a little bit.
Yeah, I think people are going to have to do a little research that Virginia Tech lost. They also had items stolen in their locker room, apparently.
That's unfortunate.
Yes. But
their reputation was also taken away from them. No offense.
Oregon, man, that's just humbling. Like, that's one of those where I started watching and I didn't watch very long. I watched the first 2 drives and I went, ball game. Because all I know is I think somebody on this team was trying to sell Bo Nix to me as, well, he's played against him. And I went, no, ain't going to matter. Bo Nix, wonderful talent. It ain't going to matter. Yes, Eaton.
It's weird when you're looking at the scoreboard, too, because, it's week 1, right? So, Alabama, of course, they beat the crap out of Utah State, 55-0, right? And you're going through all these scores.
Yeah.
You're like, 31-0, 45-13. Yeah, Oklahoma over UTEP, of course. Michigan beat up, Colorado State. And then you go, 49-13. Georgia, of course, they beat the crap out of, Oregon.
Yeah.
Like, they're supposed to be good.